What's up, everybody? Today we are at the house of Kawasaki and we are going to be riding the Ninja H2SX. So, not the incredible H2, but the kinder, gentler H2. Still a phenomenal looking machine, still 200 horsepower, still supercharged. Absolutely insane looking. It's a big bike. It's an unsuspectedly big bike when you see it in person. So we're going to go ahead and climb up on this. Now this one's more upright than its H2 brethren. Full color. We are going to be in sport mode with KQS, so I got the quick shifter on and all that fun stuff. So we have heated grips. We have the menu mode here. If you hold it, it will put up in the menu there. You can go through all that. You can reset back to the main, get all that back. There's a lot of extra things on here. You do have your horn down here. You have your turn signals. You have your cruise control. Like I said, your menu control reset. This goes through the menu screens, and you can preload with the electric shocks on here. You can have it in single person with cargo, two people cargo, and also single rider, which is what we're in today. And of course, the display has quite a few things: your clock, your trips, your time on total time so far, temperature, fuel, neutral, of course, a big old analog tack, and of course, you have oil, you have your coolant warning, you have battery, cruise control, bright, ABS, and neutral, and also service engine light. No fuss, no muss. Start sequence there. You see the electronical plug-ins into the shocks there to get them where they're adjusted. Hydraulic actuated clutch. Let's see, friction zone is actually rather quick, only about an inch off the bar there. And this bike actually just completely pulls away on its own. Of course, why wouldn't it? It's 200 horsepower. Now I know this is not the full H2 experience. Okay, you don't have to put much throttle input in on this thing at all. Sitting on it is somewhat sporty. So my knee is, you got basically a rear set. You can see my foot back. Knee is up onto the tank, kind of crunched in there. I'm a little taller, 32-inch inseam. 6 foot-ish tall, a little bit more than 6 foot, but not 6'1". It's very crunched in there, and you're pretty much on your wrist. At least I am. I'm straight down from shoulder to wrist, basically, on this one. So very sporting type, despite being the lesser aggressive. Oh man, there's like no throttle input required to get any speed. That is fun. And of course, with the quick shifter on there, you don't have to worry about clutching or anything like that. And it has automatic down blip too. So if you're getting a little bit sporting, it'll down blip for you, as you can see. Woo! Heard that supercharger for the first time. Engine braking is actually really good on this as well. Mother of pearl! Okie dokie. Let me go up to 6 gear here. So when you're just cruising around the city, 6th gear, 45 miles an hour, you're under 3,000 RPM, and this bike is smooth as butter. The suspension, I'm already noting, is actually rather comfortable. It's not harsh at all. Of course, it is electronic, so it's a little bit different in how it responds. Good gracious. You don't have to put anything at all into this thing, and if I did, I would be afraid as to what it would do at that moment. I like the way, I mean, the seat's comfortable for the rider. I don't like being on my wrist, but I mean, for a bike like this is completely and utterly more comfortable than I imagined it was going to be. Of course, you can tuck in if you need to, and you can get some wind off of you, but with the way the windshield is, if you're using it, it does kind of, my height, it pushes it right under the chin curtains of my helmet, and it does move my head around, so I get some interesting buffeting. Man, this thing is just smooth and easy to ride. You would not think that a 200 horsepower motorcycle would be this approachable, and that's really weird to say. I don't know why I'm using a clutch. I don't have to right now. The mirrors, being that they're way out in front of the rider, as long as you get them up in a good position, are very easy to see out of. You don't have to tuck in to see them. Ergonomics are very good on this bike. I know there's a lot of controls, especially on the left side, but they're all easily accessible by your thumb. Got that flash to pass hiding back there. But this bike is incredibly smooth. I mean, I took a little bit of time to kind of, I mean, and even in top gear, good golly, the pull. And like I said, thank you to Oklahoma Roads for providing suspension checkups, because, you know, everybody wants to know how that suspension is, and I guarantee you, it's really good suspension. It's so comfortable. I'm used to, you know, sport bikes bucking you off everywhere and not really being nice because it's more for track, not for street, but this one's just nice and plush and comfy. Good golly, Miss Molly. Oh man, this is intensely powerful. Okie dokie. I'm not even trying yet. I don't want to try because it's illegal. Good golly. Man. It's got power everywhere. Oh, I love that back off. Whenever you back off on it and you hear that supercharger backing off, it sounds so good. Man. This is a daggum impressive bike. I know this is more the touring variant of the H2 as stated before, and you know, like I said, for the rider, I mean, at least the seat is comfortable, and that's not bothering me. I don't like being tucked in this much, but to be honest, it's not. If I can kind of squirm around a little bit and settle down a little bit more, it's not terrible, but I still, in my right hip, I get a little cramp. But that's indicative of every time I ride a bike like this, or a bike that's a little bit too short for my leg. But I mean, it's just the incredible amount of power this thing has at your command. I mean, it is insanity.
And it is a great riding machine too. It's just so, I mean, because you don't have to worry about any power or anything, it coasts really well. You can back it off and get some great engine braking out of it as well. Quick shifter is smooth and easy. But I'm more shocked about the suspension on this bike being so good. Like, I'm hitting some bad roads and bad holes, and it's so much better than even my CB, and that's my most comfortable bike. This thing puts that thing to the test. That ain't even right. This kind of bike shouldn't be more comfortable than the CB. Oh, wow. Good night. You can stand up on end with those brakes. So the brakes, ooh, yeah, you can stop very quickly on this bike. I love that clutch response. It's very easy. Because it is right there. I mean, you don't even need to use it because you can use the quick shifter, but if you do like to clutch your bikes, it's such an easy release because it's right there off the hand grip. You know exactly where your friction zone is. It's very quick and agile, and you can just blink and you're done. It's such a light pull too. I mean, you can one finger this thing real easily. So it's got a very, very good control set. Like I said, ergonomically, there's a bunch of stuff happening, but it's really easy to get around and navigate. And of course, if you're at a stop and you got some time, you know, go through your menu, set up your bike, and make it even better. And like I said, there's so many modes on here. I can't get through them all during this ride, but getting to ride it is a sheer pleasure. It is a wonderful experience. I mean, for a big, heavy bike, I'm just impressed. It just moves so well. It just rockets forth without any issue whatsoever, and I'm just shocked at the comfort. I mean, like I said, I moved around a little bit and got my hips into position, and it's not so bad, but I'm just impressed. And the fact that it's tolerable in town, people with sport bikes that have all that power and nowhere to go with it, you know, that's not comfortable to me. Those bikes like to seesaw through traffic. They're not very comfortable in traffic because you're folded over. There's a lot of heat dumping out on you. And this bike takes care of all of that. I mean, this thing is perfect right now. I don't have any complaints about heat distribution or anything coming out because this has been rode. This is a demo bike. We've been riding them all day, and the comfort and the heat, there's just nothing really coming out right now. And like I said, it's not a harsh seesaw effect with the throttle or anything like you get from a lot of sport bikes. It just gently goes down in speed and gently moves around. And gently, it's just so weird that this monster is this tame. And I need to corner it, but there's no corners at Oklahoma. This is a sad day. I can tell you guys that the chassis is very flickable. It is a very easy to maneuver and work motorcycle. It's just that the sad part is I don't have any canyons to go test it. But my goodness, this thing has so much power. Wow! Good golly! I could get in some serious trouble on this machine. And here at highway speeds, this bike is not even taxed. We're only pulling 4,200 RPM of a 12,000 RPM redline. No taxation of engine at all on this bike. And I'm going into the wind at this time. We have about a 20 to 30 mile an hour wind today, and it is so nice into the wind right now. I mean, it's not being moved or plagued or anything. It is solid as a rock on the highway. Absolutely solid. Like I said, I sadly don't get the corners that all of you all get. It is a sad day for us Oklahoma riders. We get these interstate on-ramps that are terrible and bouncy, but this thing is handling it so well. All these brakes, man. Oh, rip your face off and put them in your helmet. Golly. I'm dadgum impressed with this machine. I wouldn't personally own it because I like a little bit more comfort, a little bit more relaxed riding, because I also know that I have a hooligan inside of me that if I had all of this, I would be in jail in the month. I wouldn't even make it longer than that. I would have reckless endangerment in 2 seconds. Good night. This is an incredible machine, and like I said, it's not as aggressive as the standard H2s. This is just the SX variant, SX SE. So the SE has all these special screens and everything. So that's where you get the TFT screen and the different modes, the electronic setup and everything. Whereas the more basic H2SX is just all blacked out. But wow. I mean, this is a short ride, unfortunately, but I could take it out for hours. And yeah, I'd be cramped up a little bit, but I would be smiling the whole time. If I had this thing out in the middle of nowhere, yeah, boy, I'd be in the middle of somewhere in a hurry. Oh my gosh, this thing is ridiculous. Oh. And like I said, I just am so shocked at how easy this motorcycle is to ride too. I mean, it is so tame. This shouldn't even be right. Such a tame machine, such a fun machine, a well put together machine too. I'm looking around everything and everything's tight and tucked in and solid. You don't hear anything coming out of it. And this is what you get for 25 grand. This is a lot for 25 grand. Yeah, look at that front end in the back of that truck. Oh, yeah. This is a pleasure. This is a dadgum pleasure to ride this machine. I never knew I'd get the opportunity to even get an SX out the door. And, you know, I've always followed the H2, and I'd love to ride the actual H2, but I settle for this any day. It still looks good. I love the way the paint, I mean, it's not the silver paint from the real H2, but it's still a nice deep metallic paint. Just looking around it, there's so many details on it. The wheels are pretty dang cool on it too. I mean, it's just so weird that this should not be right. My mind tells me so much. The ZX14 is way more punishing than this bike. The Hayabusa is way more punishing than this bike, but this bike will punish them in acceleration and speed. My goodness. It's just got power everywhere too. That's the killer too. You can just be cruising around and rip it and it's gone. You don't even need your drop of gear. And if you drop a gear, then you're not only going to disappear, you're going to go into warp. And it's just so balanced too. Like I said, for a city bike, if you're looking for a bike that you can just kind of cruise around the city and you need to get in and out of traffic in a hurry, you're doing it. And it's so comfortable. It's so weird. This is just wrong in many levels. It's just, I don't understand it, but I love it. I think this is a great bike, and if you guys are looking for a super sport touring bike and you don't want to get as folded up as the ZX14 or fold up like a Hayabusa or any of those bikes, and you just want to kind of tour and ride, this one's way more comfortable. Yeah, you're on your wrist, and that's going to tire you out in about an hour, and the hip and stuff, but it's so weird that this kind of power, this kind of machine is rideable in this condition and just so easy to handle. I like it a lot. I recommend it to anybody who's looking to get a sport touring bike to just rip around on, but also to rip your face off at the same time. So at any rate, this is the Rabid Hedgehog, and I am at the House of Kawasaki. We're located at 10th and Council. There's House Kawasaki right here as I'm pulling in. And this has been the ride of the H2 SX SE. A fantastic motorcycle, not one I'd personally own, but dadgum a lot of fun. Y'all have a good one. We'll catch you on that next review.